We've all heard and talked about the recent injection, this week in fact, this injection of £9.5 billion into the rail network between 2014 and 2019. I'm going to start with you, Claire. What's happened to buses? It's a slap in the face, isn't it?
Well, I wouldn't quite say a slap in the face. I think if I can just take a step back for a moment and just sort of look at the importance of buses generally, we've always known that, touching on a point from Federation of Small Businesses, that the buses do actually perform a very important social role. We know that there are such services that just aren't economic to run, and they've had subsidy. We also know that buses are a big contribution to make on the green agenda. What we haven't realised until now is just how buses can facilitate growth. So I think we're beginning a debate, we're beginning a dialogue with government on this. I think this hopefully will be an important first step for many discussions that we will be having going forward. I mean, I think would the Treasury have cut bus service operators grant by 20% had it known how crucial buses are for getting people to work, getting people to the high street, relieving congestion. I mean, if all of that had been aggregated together and we'd had those stats, I don't know. So I think I would like to hope that this piece of research is actually going to move things along.
We're not looking for handouts either. We're looking for policy direction that actually favours the bus, which doesn't cost money, but actually passes it down to make other people, whether they're the employers or local authorities, think differently about how their mix of transport is, or their transport mix in policy decisions are made. So that you do get the green travel patterns, green travel plans for local employers, and you do get universities that are going to be focused on how do they get their students in by bus and not by car. So it's all those sorts of policy decision areas that you really want some focus on, in my opinion. We're not looking for money per se, we just want joined up thinking. If you're in the work and pensions and you're going to invest some money to try to get people into areas of employment, because that must be what your role in life is, think about the bus. If you're going to invest X in some other scheme, think about the bus. How does the bus contribute to that? That's what we'd like to see happen.
How much do you think, Rhian, that your members and the FSB are having to play catch up? Because it seems to me, and I don't know about anybody else here, we've seemed to have lived with decades of underinvestment in transport to the point where, frankly, we'll probably get on a pedalo rather than use it. And it's a whole transformation of attitudes and what we've become used to. I mean, how much of that is there to overcome?
Well, I mean, I think it is absolutely fair to say that just some of the work we've done and the infrastructure as a whole, of which transport is obviously a part, that it feels like it's creaking. And we've sort of had decades of underinvestment, and actually we need to flip quickly into decades where we have much more significant investment. So decisions or announcements yesterday on rail are actually really quite welcome, because they show the sort of direction of travel. I think we are sort of flipping into a sort of a place where we need more investment, and I think the point I was going to make is that we're sort of lucky in a sense, in inverted commas, that we're in a place where we're also looking for what has multiplier effects and what creates growth across the economy. And it's just a coincidence, and a very lucky coincidence, that infrastructure and investing in infrastructure has quite significant multiplier effects across industries, across construction. We talked about the role of the bus in terms of the multiplier effect and the sort of getting people into work, the youth take up. So I think that this lucky coincidence means that we are about to, I hope, have a sort of couple of decades where we see quite significant investment in infrastructure, which in the business community is clearly needed, because there's a real sense of our infrastructure not matching and comparing to that internationally. And when businesses think where they're going to invest their money, one of the things they'll look at is the quality of the infrastructure around them. And actually, if it's better in France or Germany or increasingly China and India, well, they'll put their money there.